Is Zherka still here? Zherka, tell Sneeko to give you my number, bro. Yeah, he's still in here. Watch out, guys. Next, he's gonna tell you the government is lying to you about the earth being round. See what he says? Though, look, the government's gonna, because that's all you have is what did Uncle Sam tell you? You have no evidence. You have no proof. You have no way to prove it to me. You don't. Zherka proves the earth is flat. Okay.
Go watch Level by Eric
Dubé. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. What does Zherka got to say?
So I'm like, okay, I don't believe in moon landing, space. Genesis talks about the firmament and horizon. The horizon of the sky comes from the word horizontal, tectonic plates, not tectonic balls. The water is always level. It's never stuck to a ball in history because water always finds its level.
That's another thing, bro. Tectonic plates, bro. So people believe that the plates, these supposed tectonic plates that are under the crust, are also shaped in a sphere. See, when people think about tectonic plates, you always think about flat moving plates, but for it to be on your spherical ball earth, that means your plates, your rock plates, are also curved into a sphere and are somehow moving and shifting, and they're not locked into a perpetual grid.
Every single airplane on Earth has an autopilot system for emergency landings. And it doesn't use a globe. It uses an ice wall map called the azimuthal equidistant map that Admiral Byrd, the first person to travel to Antarctica, he's on footage saying there's more land. A compass only points north because it's a flat Earth. South is 180 degrees away from north. You circumnavigate like Christopher Columbus, like how the sun moves, east to west. You can go around on, let's say.
That's another thing. Why don't compasses point south when you're in the South Pole? Why do they always point north, right? When we're in the southern hemisphere, you would think that the compass would point to wherever is the strongest magnetic pole. So if you're in the southern hemisphere, wouldn't that be the southern pole? Why does it always point north? You telling me you could be on the bottom of the earth, this ball earth, right beside the southern pole, but your compass, which is dumb, by the way, it's like it doesn't know the difference between, the northern, it's just pointing towards the strongest magnetic pull. Why wouldn't it point south when you're in the southern hemisphere? You're closer to the southern pole. It always points north. Why? Because you don't live on a ball. And there is no South Pole. There is only one pole, the northern pole. And the south is just the opposite direction of the northern pole. That's it. Questions they can't answer. They'll tell you, oh boy, when you go on a book a flight in the southern hemisphere, it takes X amount of time. Listen, when they try, there's this one guy, Professor Dave, I think, has this whole video, how to prove the earth is not flat without science. First and foremost, the fact that he has to do that without science is because there are no scientific experiments that he can send you on your merry way to actually conduct to prove that you live on a spinning ball. So he throws a lot of concept at you, and one that he proposes has to do with flight times and flight travel. That is a completely illegitimate way of coming to the conclusion of the shape of the earth. Why? Because there's so many things you have to assume that you are being told are true. And the first step of entertaining the idea that we do not live on a spinning ball is to accept that there are agencies, large agencies, that are lying to you, right? Namely the government, right? And no, not everybody involved, not everyone who works at Boeing or the airport is in this conspiracy. In fact, most pilots, they believe they're flying on a ball earth, right? But you also have pilots who are in the flat earth community as well, and will be like, no, it took me a while to realize based on my experience, obviously the earth is flat. But of course, like everybody else, you're taught you live on a spinning ball from the time you're like 2 years old. So of course they also believe it, right? They're not even going to think to question it. Why the Trinity? You're not going to even think to question it because it's what you learn on day one. So it's not even, it don't even make sense to question it. But yeah. But yeah, you do have testimonies of pilots, and one day it just kind of clicks for them. You know what I'm saying? There's actually this one woman, she was a pilot for like over 2 decades. And then she, one day it clicks for her. She actually starts going out and talking about it. And then they fire her. They fire her. She starts like going to these like flat earth conventions and like giving her experience as a trained pilot, you know, to as further evidence as to why the earth is a plane, right? A stationary plane. And it's crazy. It's crazy. They tell you, right? They tell you that when you shoot a bullet out of a sniper rifle, that snipers have to account for the spinning of the earth. Yet bullets travel so fast. Yet you never have to account for the curvature of the earth when you throw a football down the field. Or, you know, helicopters are able to hover over the earth and the earth doesn't move underneath the helicopter. That doesn't make sense at all, right? We know that you're not locked into place in the air. If you were, the clouds wouldn't move, right? You're telling me the clouds are, you know, the gravitational pull can't hold the clouds in place, but it holds a helicopter in place? Yeah, man. There's just a lot of things you can think about. Yeah. Oh, not Don. Oh, bro, trust me, man. You so far behind, bro. You so far behind. You know what I'm saying? I've been where you were. There were years ago I started getting red pill to flat earth, bro. And then I allowed. Here's why your position is ridiculous. If I said, bro, you and me meet up at this park, I'll give you $10,000 if you can prove to me you live on a spinning ball, you would leave that park with no money in your pocket. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. What, again, the idea that we live on a stationary plane is not what is ridiculous. That is not what people can't cope with. What people can't cope with is a concept that they're being lied to on such a massive scale. This is what they have a hard time accepting. It is not the idea that we live on a stationary plane. It is the most logical conclusion you would come to by simply observing your environment. You would not come to the conclusion that you live on a spinning ball. This had to be told to you. It had to be taught to you. So it's not the fact that we live, I'm telling you, we live on a stationary plane. And don't imagine a flat disc in space, please. There is no space, okay? You live underneath a firmament. It's an enclosed system. Outside of that system is water. This is what the Bible tells us in Genesis chapter 1. So that is where you live. But yeah, so if you're imagining a flat disc in the vacuum of space, how does the atmosphere exist beside a vacuum? You can't run a single science experiment to show me how you can maintain a vacuum, an atmosphere, a gas beside a vacuum without the gas moving to, you know, I mean, high concentration to low concentration. This is elementary science, elementary physics. So the idea that you can maintain an atmosphere next to a vacuum is ridiculous. Y'all look into it, don't look into it. Like I said earlier this stream, you know, just focus on loving people. That's really the only thing that matters. Just focus on that, because all it is, this isn't for everybody. I understand that. It's too much for a lot of people.
Every military system for launching missiles use flat earth maps. And well, what if they just make the sphere into flat? No, dude, these maps have our ice wall, which is the highest shoreline on earth. On Wikipedia, it's called Antarctica. Look at the United Nations flag. You'll have your flat earth map. Every maritime association.
Again, remember what I told you about Satan just putting it in your face? Now, the United Nations, right? The seat from which the one world religion, one world government agenda is going to be taken. Look at the map of the world that the UN uses, right? Of course, they use the flat Earth map. Now, what they'll tell you is, no, actually, that's just a globe being looked at from above, and they kind of like just spread it out. First of all, this is not what it would look like if you take a soccer ball and try to spread it out. Just imagine that. Imagine you have a soccer ball, right, that has the globe drawn on it. You could not recreate this from that. The way how you would cut the ball and the flaps, how they would flare out, you wouldn't get this, right? You only get this on a plane. You only get this on a flat circular plane. You wouldn't get this by simply squashing the ball down. Just try it. Just try it. Go get a soccer ball, a cheap soccer ball or a cheap bouncy ball that you don't care about. Take a marker and do your best to trace out the globe on it. Then try and recreate this by cutting the ball and trying to like flare out the sides. You would never get this map. This is the flat Earth map. So the UN is using the flat Earth map, put it in your face, because Satan likes to laugh at you. This is the thing that people don't get. This is how he entertains himself. He puts it in your face constantly and you just can't see it. I get the possibility of our government lying to us about space, but what about the other first world countries that have reportedly went to space? Brother, listen, the entire world lies under the sway of the evil one. This is what the Bible tells us, brother. This is what you need to understand. This concept of other countries, you know, like, bro, everybody got one boss, bro. Everybody on this earth, the ones who are operating under the sway of wickedness, they all report to one head honcho, Lucifer. Okay, you think wars aren't real, bro? Like, they're not. Now, the death is real, the violence is real, the effects on humans, on civilians is real, but why they're telling you they've gone to war, bro? The same dude is making the bullets and the band-aids, bro. What do you think this is, bro? Without war, we don't even have an economy. You know, go watch War Dogs. It's crazy. All these movies, they just like lay it out for you, you know. But yeah, 1 John chapter 5:19. We know that we are of God, and the whole world is under the sway of the evil one. Look at that. The whole world is under the sway of the evil one. So yeah, bro, look, listen, NASA, how much money do they take? How much money goes to NASA? $24 billion. $24 billion goes to NASA. Let's say they take even 100 million, you know, let's say they even take 1 billion, which they don't. I highly doubt. But let's say they even take like 100 to 500 million to keep up the facade, to keep up the, you know, they got to make a couple of rockets. They got to pay all their engineers. They got to have the facilities. They got to do this. They got to do that. They got to put on a little bit of a show, a little show and dance, right? And, you know, maybe they're actually doing some other things behind the scenes that, you know, that money is being used for. So let's say they use 100 to 500 million dollars a year. Okay, that still leaves 23.5 billion dollars. Just imaginary tax, bro. It's the best hustle. You know, it's like all of us have, you know, subscriptions to things that we pay. Most of us pay every month that we don't use. You signed up for a thing months ago, years ago sometimes, and you just don't even notice. You don't even think about it. Maybe you earn, you know, several $1,000s a month on income. Maybe you earn anywhere over, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month. And so you're not noticing that little $12 that gets taken out of your account every month, right? If you're not somebody that watches every transaction that comes out of your bank account. And it's something you don't even use anymore. Another good example, gyms, right? Gyms only are financially feasible when the majority of their clientele don't come to the gym. If everybody who signed up for a gym actually came to work out every day, the gyms would not have enough equipment. The gym would not have enough space. Their entire model is based on the fact that most of their members are not going to use their facilities. That's where they make all their profit. You have people paying them for nothing. This is what NASA is essentially. So people might say, okay, yeah, compared to America's entire GDP, it's a drop in the bucket. So I guess, yeah, you can say that. But it's still just money getting taxed for no reason. You don't think every other country wants in on that? Every other country that can put on the facade. If Jamaica could pretend like we had a space, whatever you call it, branch of the government, they would set one up because it's an excuse to tax the people. So the reason that there are only certain countries that do this is because there are only certain countries that have the technological advancements or the resources to pull off the illusion. You know, Russia, China, you know what I'm saying? Like very large countries with a very high GDP, you know what I'm saying? Major players in the world economy. These people can pull it off. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got to make, like they say, bro, once you make money, it's easier to make more money. It's an upsell. Watch out, guys. Next, he's going to tell you the government is lying to you about the earth being round. Oh, didn't we already cover that? I thought we already covered that. Hey, man, leave what you want. See what he says, though? Look, the government's going to, because that's all you have is what did Uncle Sam tell you? You have no evidence. You have no proof. You have no way to prove it to me. You don't. So this is essentially what the entire argument falls on. Are you willing to consider the fact or the idea that the government is lying to you? Because you have no first-hand evidence. You've never seen a curve. I know you haven't. This is basically the Truman Show. Yeah. That, again, they're just showing it to you guys. They're just showing it to you. The Truman Show hits so different when you realize that the firmament is real. The firmament spoken about in Genesis. Guys, this is an important topic. Why? Because I can't speak for everyone, but for some of you, this will save your faith. For some of you, this will save your faith. I know it saved mine, right? I know it saved mine. You might not go through the exact same trials and tribulations I've gone through on my Christian journey, but for some of you, something's gonna come along that's gonna really test you, shake your faith up, maybe really make you question, is this whole God thing real? Is this whole Jesus thing real? Is this whole Christian thing real? Maybe the atheists are right. Maybe the scientists are right. Maybe, and then you remember you under a dome, bro. You remember you're under a dome and there's only one book that explains it all to you, the Bible. And then you just gotta breathe real quick and like, oh yeah, I remember now. This is again why Satan has lied to us about this. One of the many reasons Satan has lied to us about this.
Counterfeit.
Zherka Live donated. Is this Zherka right here? No, bro, Redeem Zoomer is dope, bro. I don't agree with him on the Trinity, but he's dope. This is not Zherka. Zherka Live with the $5. Perfect. If you start at one point and travel straight directly east or west in one direction, would you end up back in the same spot eventually? Yes, 100%. This is because we live on a flat plane. Is this really Zherka? Let me show you how this works, man. Zherka, I heard you wanted to talk about the Trinity, brother. Let's do it. Well, anyway, hold on. Yeah, so here is it, right? You got the Earth, you got the plane, you got the North Pole, right? Your compass always points north. Let me get this out of the way real quick. Right, your compass always points north. And so let's say you're right here, right? Let's say you're right here, and where's your compass pointing? North. That means this is west and this is east. So let's say you want to go west, right? You wouldn't just go straight off the map. Why? Because by the time you get here, where's your compass pointing now? This way. That's north now. So where's west? 90 degrees. It's always 90 degrees from north. So now your compass is pointing that way. Essentially, as you go, follow west or east, you're always going to go in a perfect circle. So you'll get back in the exact same spot you started because your compass always points north. Is Zherka still here? Zherka, tell Sneeko to give you my number, bro. Yeah, he's still in here. Super chat. Okay. All right. Well, I just explained it. All right, let me see. Oh, it's a fan account? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I heard you wanted to talk about the Trinity. Oh, I'm a little disappointed now. That would have been fun. But yeah, guys, so go look into this stuff, man. Go look into this stuff. It's real interesting stuff. He's going to see it, though. He knows the guy who runs it. Okay, for sure.